Hey everyone, let's get right into it. I am using titanium white and burnt umber to begin this little portrait. I have moved out of London and I am getting set up. Things are still in progress in terms of my setup, my studio setup, but I am excited that I'm finally starting to paint again. And I just wanted to get on with a little oil painting portrait, as I haven't done one in a while and I really love painting them. There's something about oil paint that is so rewarding, and I'm trying to develop a method of oil paint where I'm not using any pencil sketch or anything like that. I'm going straight in with the oil paints and I'm simply mapping out initially with a very little amount of paint on my brush, and as you can see on screen, I've already got a decent amount of structure ready for me to paint upon. Now for me personally, I like to keep my oil portrait as simple as possible, which means I limit my palette as much as I can. So right now I have just added a bit of titanium white to my paintbrush and I'm simply mixing in the tonal values of the face. I'm not going to get too bogged down with each detail that I see in my reference image. I'm simply focusing on the large shapes and where exactly certain aspects of the light is hitting the face. So to put it simply, if the light is on the top right side of the portrait, I'm lightening up my tonal values, and as we move towards the bottom left of the portrait, every tone will be pushed darker, and this is basically bringing a sense of realism to the painting. Just keeping that in mind, where your light source is within your painting can really help a long way. I've recently been following and studying the work of Ruth Fitton. Now she is one of the best painters, in my opinion, of portraits, and she executes such beautiful elegance while keeping her brushwork very loose. I tried to emulate that within this portrait, and obviously I didn't get anywhere close to what Ruth is doing. She is an absolute master and she's continuing to create epic works, and even in her small studies she's clearly got a very good understanding of her value range, and her colours, her control is really beautiful. So I recommend checking her out if you haven't yet, and I will continue to study the works that she produces, and I'm really excited to see what she creates, because she is, as I said, one of the best painters alive, I would say. She is very good. So I was just trying to focus on how she pushes her paint around, and it seems like she's very loose but very controlled at the same time, which is really interesting, and that's something that I definitely aspire to. So as we continue on the portrait, I am getting there with my tonal values, and I'm just pushing around the paint, not being too focused on each detail, as I said, but I am slowly sculpting a face within this wooden panel, and things are starting to look quite decent at the moment. What's so interesting to me is that I've only used titanium white and burnt umber, and already it's looking like a 3D portrait. It's looking real, and you can definitely identify a face within the paint. As I continue on, I wanted to add a bit more colour to it, so I placed down a bit of red, yellow ochre and some ultramarine blue to my palette, and now I can go in with a certain amount of colour to the painting. I don't want to go over everything I've just created. I'm simply almost glazing over certain parts of the portrait, and because this is alla prima, I am simply going in wet on wet. I'm doing this in one session, so I'm just shifting certain tonal values into a hue of colour. So what I like to do personally for any portrait is the forehead is going to be pushed towards yellow, the middle part of the face is pushed towards red, and the bottom half is pushed towards blue. So keeping that in mind can really give that realistic effect of skin tone. I've definitely tried to push that here, and I'm really happy with how this came out. There's just something about loose portraiture that I really like. I don't want it to look completely finished. I want it to have that rustic kind of look. I definitely don't consider myself a portrait artist, but I do have a lot of fun with painting any sort of portrait. I think they're so challenging, they're really hard, and if anything, they're the hardest things I could choose to paint. A portrait is very hard to get right, and I'm definitely in the process of getting better and trying to understand ways in which I can produce a portrait with ease by maintaining a likeness, a true range of colour, and ultimately I want to have fun with each portrait that I create, because I think at the end of the day that is what matters. And for years I think I have definitely suppressed myself in terms of creating portraits that I want to create. I kind of limited myself before, thinking that I can't do that because it's just not, it's too hard, it's too complicated. But at the end of the day, you can definitely try something and fail. It is completely normal and okay to do that. And I think I have definitely proved myself wrong, that I can create portraits. They don't have to be spectacular or as amazing as Ruth Fitton right now, but I'm sure she went through a stage where she was struggling and learning and understanding each portrait and how to get better for the next one. So that is the finished painting. This took about an hour and I believe 9 minutes, so just over an hour, and I am amazed that I have created something from nothing. It is vibrant, it is alive with energy, and that's exactly what I was trying to do. Of course, emulating a bit of Ruth Fitton. She is a legend, definitely go check her work out. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Subscribe if you're not, by the way.